check out this view. So we're going to the restaurant behind me, just there. There it is. And it's called Una Finestra Sul Lago. The lago is, of course, the lake. So it's a window on the lake. And we're shooting here today a little bit with Duncan. Sorry about the light. Oh, nice lens flare there. Anyway, I've got to put a mask on and we're going to go inside. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. And once again, I'm joined by the legend, the acting legend, producer, great impersonator of a million voices, the Duncan Casey.
the Duncan Casey.
The yes. Duncan Casey.
Person.
You should know him from some early videos. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. It's great to be here in person with you.
I know, right? Yeah, because we recorded this before in England.
We did. We attempted it. I don't think it came off very well.
No, this is slightly nicer. Okay, so I should explain where we are. This is Lake Como, but not anywhere in Lake Como. This is a restaurant, and it's called La Finestra Sul Lago. What better place to discuss watches? And by the way, the food is amazing. I didn't have a chance to record it because I was so famished. I just wolfed it down, but I did take some pictures. The pizza, fantastic. And we are drinking some local wine as well. And this is from Valtellina, which is just, I think that way, right? Yeah, over there. So can it get any better than this?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't think so. I mean, look at this view for a start.
Yeah.
I mean, I was here 7 years ago. I was in Lake Como. But it's just different from every angle. It just is stunning.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning.
Right. So for those unfamiliar with you, a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about well, I'm an actor, producer, writer.
Watch enthusiast.
Definitely a watch enthusiast. I dabble in YouTube. I can't say, I've been dipping my toe in and out.
We're chasing the phone company, but there's still no news on last night's call. Erica, it's extremely likely whoever killed your father killed Mr. Johar.
When you're not there, you go home empty-handed. If I'm not there, Casey will kill you.
Oi, leave her. I'm starting to think you're just picking on us now.
Is that right? Fellas, I really don't need to tell you, you shouldn't have these two out here at this time of night.
Walken with dinosaurs.
Hi, I'm Christopher Walken, and this is the Sedgwick Museum in Cambridge, England. They have all kinds of interesting ancient shit inside. Let's take a look. Look at this big bastard. This is the Iguanadon, the world's first dinosaur. He was originally discovered by a couple of Victorian assholes. Put them together all wrong. Look at that thing. More like an Iguanadon.
We'll leave a link down below. Check out Valverde. I've mentioned to you.
Yes, you very, very kindly ranked us quite highly on your top 10 YouTube non-watch YouTubers. But we Richard Jackson and myself, we discuss movies usually in slightly less salubrious surroundings. Yeah, I mean, so I work primarily as an actor. That's my
Nice.
my main day job, and I'm going to sound like Troy McClure, but I don't know what. It's funny because everyone always asks you when you say you're an actor, someone they go, "Oh, what would I have seen you in?"
Right.
And then, short of knowing what everyone has ever watched ever, I can't really give them an answer. But I guess the biggest thing I've done most recently is probably a thing called Erica, which was
right.
it did quite well.
Very successful. I mean, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was. I really loved making that. It's for those of you who don't know, it's like an interactive movie. It came out firstly on PlayStation, then various other platforms, available on iOS and everything. But it's a film. It's a feature-length drama, but it's you can make choices, you can touch things, you can move things around. It's pretty,
Right.
incredible.
And my mum would be very happy to hear that you've also been on EastEnders.
I have been on EastEnders. I've recurred. on
That's the
EastEnders.
most impressive thing to her.
Very good. Very good. No,
Wait, you were on Coronation Street as well, right?
no, Emmerdale,
Emmerdale, that was
and Holby City. I'm working my way through this, so
Through
we
all-
get to Corrie.
All the British slopes,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
So, where did your love of watches start?
It really was when I was 16, and it was James Bond. You know,
Right.
I mean, I accrued or inherited really a love of Bond films from my dad. But I mean, to begin with, he would put on Goldfinger when I was 10, and I kind of went,
Nice.
boring. But then when GoldenEye came out in '95, that was when I was 11.
And that's the first watch,
and that's
right?
the first watch. So it's a good segue.
Yeah.
We could talk about that. If you want
Yeah.
to take it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, go for it.
I got this. Yeah, I guess it would have been in the late '90s. This is a Quartz Sea Master 300.
Because he had quartz first, then he went automatic.
Yeah,
right?
someone said to me that they only released these in quartz first. I don't know how true that is, but obviously the auto came quite quickly afterwards.
I think that might be true. I remember I got the quartz too, and strictly for budgetary reasons. You know, I forget how thin they are.
That's the beauty of them, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and even the automatic was the same. I think the GMT was slightly thicker, and I'm eyeing those up at the moment. You know, the GMT.
Yeah. I love how the end of the second hand is fading into like kind of a pinky.
You should see. So my dad bought one at the same time. He from Zurich. He was coming home through Zurich on the way home, and so we both have one. But he knackered. That's a British word. The bracelet, and now it lives on various NATOs and sort of thing. But his is, that to me looks like a museum piece compared to his, because his is just destroyed.
Right.
But in a great way. You know?
Yeah.
It's
That's
seen
gorgeous.
where I think his second hand is totally white now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. So where did you go after this, please?
After this, I dabbled in. I had it actually. It's not with me anymore. And should we do wristwatch check? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, that is still a thing.
Let's do that.
Because you're wearing my watch.
I'm wearing your watch.
And I'm kind of wearing your watch.
I had one of those until very recently. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the black bait. I've been lent this by Moyers. Shout out to Moyers. To take on my trip to reacquaint myself. I've reviewed the blue one, but not this one. And so I'm an owner of that, and I wanted to see how I feel. So how does that feel?
Well, having been an owner of that and an owner of a no-date sub, so I had a 14060M.
Did I ever see that one?
No. I had that, I bought that back in 2004, and I sold it about a year later because I needed to pay for my car insurance.
Right.
Because at the time they weren't, they were a couple of grand or something new, and you could get them.
Yeah.
I had to that had to go for, because car insurance is very expensive when you're young.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, but this really reminds me of that. It's got obviously the plexiglass, which is beautiful, but certainly the bracelet and the case and everything really puts me more in mind of that. Whereas, see, I had bought the Black Bay 58,
trying to scratch that itch.
itch, and actually, it doesn't. It is, I would say, as good, if not better, than a 5-digit no-date sub. But it didn't have the, I don't know.
There's a special magic. I know I know precisely what you mean, and I came very close to selling that because I had my eyes on it. The bluesy, and then this one and that one, and I just knew I'd regret it. There's a magic with that. They got it, even though it's technically so dated, and especially the Tudor, it's an ETA, but it has that special thing.
It does, and it's like I love a non-SEL or solid end link bracelet. For some reason, to me, that's
Clanky.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the imperfections that make it.
It's funny because and we'll get onto my next watch as well, but the introduction of sapphire on these 5-digit models.
Right.
I still like it, but that it doesn't. It's almost like a sort of Frankenstein's hybrid, or like it doesn't.
Right.
It's stepping from the. It's transitional, of course, but it's stepping from the old into the new, and it's.
So tell me about this GMT.
So the GMT. I'll try and keep it brief. Nowadays, if you wanted to quickly liquidate a Rolex, you would walk anywhere. You'd go anywhere and you'd get your money very quickly. Back then, it was less easy. There was a second-hand dealer in Norwich, where I was at university.
Right.
I went in and said, look, I need to go pay for my car insurance. So he said, okay, he did me a deal. I won't say the deal because that's not all about money, but he basically offered to give me cash. It was less than it was worth. But if I came back in whatever it was, a few months' time, I could buy either this or a sub date for a few extra £100.
Right.
So for budgetary reasons, this was cheaper because at the time the sub date was what everyone wanted.
And now they've exploded.
Now these have exploded. So I said I wanted this. It had the black bezel on it.
So you swapped it out?
I swapped this out. I went into just my local dealer, I don't know, a few weeks later and said, look, have you got any other bezels? Like, this one's boring.
Yeah.
I wanted the Coke, the red and black, but they only had that, so I was like, fine. And it was like so cheap to swap out. They were like, £30 or something, new bezel. So, and they let you keep the old one, which they don't do anymore.
Right, and that's really faded, the red.
It's faded, yeah.
I love it.
I had it serviced last year and they offered to replace it, and I said, no, please, just leave it.
Yeah.
It. It's sort of got a pink.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, it's
totally unique now. Oh yes, thank you.
What I like about it is it does have the solid end links, but it's got the holes case. So that was a thing that was sort of transitional around. I think it was 2000 they bought the solid end links to the bracelet.
I think mine is probably the same. Is pretty much the same. Then I popped it on a Jubilee.
It looks great. I think yours looks fantastic.
I think I brought it here as well. Yeah.
We'll have to compare notes on that because I do keep considering trying to get hold of a Jubilee. If I got hold of a Jubilee bracelet for this, I have also now acquired the Coke bezel, so I would have a full set. You know, I'd have the Jubilee.
I can't travel without it.
No,
it goes everywhere.
You realise the value of being able to do a jump hour, all that kind of stuff, and being able to very quickly reference home time.
So I see an SKX that now.
Infamous.
Yeah, well, it's exploding in value because it's been discontinued.
Yes, I heard that. Now,
they're going for like ridiculous money.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, again, see, I can't seem to. I have been the aforementioned deal on my Submariner aside, although it worked out.
Yeah.
I haven't lost on a watch. I've never lost on a watch. I've always been really fortunate. I've always bought something.
Actually, you're right, because the Squale. We're going to talk about Squale later. The Squale. That's going crazy right now, because this is probably one of their most prestigious collaborations. Wow. Sorry, by the way, this is a Drascaliazzi. I just have to mention it because you're right.
Even the Datejust, I think, is a bit. But we'll get to this. Yeah. Yes, this was bought because at the time I was doing a lot of as actors. You know, we often have to, eat humble pie and go back to doing menial jobs. So-called, they're not, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And I didn't want an expensive watch because I was going around places that I just didn't want to take an expensive watch sort of late at night and that kind of thing. So, but I didn't want, to me, buying something I just didn't like was a waste of money. It's not to say that cheap watches are bad at all. None of that. But I wanted something I wanted, but I didn't want to be wearing something.
Did you want the SKX before?
I had been looking at them, because I'd seen videos of obviously yours and people who've done mods on them, and I thought, wow, that's such a great sort of platform of a watch that you could build on if you want to.
That's a beautiful way to describe it.
Yeah, I thought, why not? let's try out this SKX malarkey.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I've taken it on holiday. I've gone swimming in the sea with it. I've done.
Nice.
For what you get, it's incredible.
It's a professional ISO rated diver.
Yeah.
Is there? Are you tempted to mod it?
I am. Yeah, I am. I mean, I will say I don't wear it nearly enough. Probably. It's not accurate. I mean, I find it really wildly fluctuates in terms of accuracy.
They have to be worn in.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like it's got to be. I should leave it on a winder for a few days and then.
I mean, or it's just a bad one.
Or it's a bad one. Yeah. It was made on a Friday or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. The last time I saw an SKX007. It's funny, you know when you turn the bezel and it all comes back to you, and it's just, God. Classic. You got to enjoy this one more.
I should do, yes. I have do you know what I bought for it? A Nato Strap. That's it's a sort of military dark green with an orange stripe through the middle.
Nice.
And it sets off with the text. It's perfect for the text, and I love it. So yes, I should put it back on that. Yeah. So this was a present from you, and in a care package. Justana sent us a package from Queens at the time, I think.
Yeah, Queens at the time, yeah.
And it was just this box, and it had the goodies, and we all got, because this is for when I was on another channel, but Richard and I were on the channel, and we all got one of these. I got a Corgi Aston Martin, which I still have.
That's appreciated in value.
Has it?
Yeah.
It's like King Midas.
Yes.
Everything
Right,
I do.
send everything, Duncan.
Just send me your stuff. And
Yeah.
it'll be worth more. And I was so appreciative of that. And I love this, and I wear it in the gym, and I take it all over the place. And I still really don't understand how to work it. Somehow the time and day is right, which doesn't make any sense, but okay. And but it's fantastic. Next really is the Datejust. I think that's the kind of what I wanted a really simple but elegant watch, because everything I had was sports, but I wanted it as sort of distilled as I could make it. So it doesn't have a luminous dial, it doesn't have luminous hands, it's just
I see what you mean.
a Roman dial.
You know what, I had exactly this one, but with the blue sunburst.
Beautiful.
I still think about it.
Well, I was going to get a 5-digit reference. I wasn't even going to go with a more modern one, but my friend convinced me, who is currently flying above us. He convinced me to get one new from, so I did that.
So this is your first from new, except for, I guess, the
No, well,
SKX?
the sub. No, this was new, and the Submariner I had was new, and the Squale was.
How
new.
do you feel about the 36mm size?
Love it.
Because if you haven't already noticed, Duncan's quite a big chap. So
well, that's because I just ate pizza, but
yeah.
no, it's perfect. I mean, I think it's this is what I mean. I wanted something a bit more elegant, a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a small watch. I mean, people say I wanted to see some bracelets.
Because it's the new one, it's a bit beefier.
It's got the chunkier.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the new one. The new one they have slimmed things down again, but this is the sort of. It's almost reminiscent of the bubble backs of the.
Yes. Now you mention it.
It's got the kind of more rounded.
That's a really great observation. It's very true. Yeah.
So that was that, and it's a watch that won't go away, because every time I think I'm done with it and I might get rid of it.
It's on the chopping block.
Yeah, every time I think it's on the chopping block. Like last year, I had a lot of. So I wore it when I got married.
Then you can't.
Then I can't. So, well, then last year my daughter was born, and I had intended to have my GMT with me, but it was being serviced and it took longer. So this was present when my daughter was born. So it really isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's very classic, very tasteful. And is it just a crisp white?
Yep.
Right.
Just a flat white. I mean, it's gloss, but it's.
Should we talk about the most divisive watch you have?
Okay. All right. Here we go.
We started talking watches last night over lots of vodka, and because Duncan had arrived, and you said something to the effect of, "Oh, this is the watch you hate," right?
Yeah.
I think those are the words you used.
Something like that. Yeah.
I had to explain. Thank you very much. Oh my God, you forget how light it is.
I know. Yeah.
It's crazy. It feels like a toy.
It feels plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost feels plastic. You have to like touch it to your mouth
Yeah.
and feel it's cold, But it's This is the titanium.
Yeah.
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Seamaster.
Yeah, I was very, very critical in the review, and because there's a lot to be divisive about, has that Marmite effect. So what made you go for it?
I suppose I missed the boat by seconds on a Spectre limited edition 300. I was in Amsterdam. I couldn't get to the bank in time to transfer money, all this sort of stuff, and I was leaving the next morning.
I should point out, I've heard this story several
You've heard
times.
the story. It's boring.
It's obviously left a scar.
Yes. A Blofeld-esque scar across my face. So and now there's silly money, and that's that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I had the regular 300 for a while, and it's great. I ended up selling it to my brother-in-law, and I wish I hadn't, because it was just such a great watch. But so I toyed with it. These came out, and I was like, it's a lot of money for what it is, and yada yada yada. Anyway, long story short, I managed to find one online, second-hand from a guy who's just liquidating his watches. Really lovely chap. Did a great deal. It's the Mark I bracelet, so it doesn't have
is that the dodgy one?
Well, supposedly they break. I mean, it hasn't, but I mean, they redesigned these sort of, I guess, end links, and they're much thicker, and they're not. That's not what's in the film. So I was kind of like, well, it's got to be what's in the film.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah. So, and do you know what? It just appealed to me. Being an island boy, I was born in the Bahamas. There's this sort of romanticism around living on an island, tropical island, sailing. This is very much part of the narrative of this watch.
And I presume in film as well. There's some scenes at
in Jamaica.
Actual GoldenEye, right?
It's not. It's not a GoldenEye. No, it's actually they built a house to film in, and then they took it away. They struck it after they wrapped the film, so it was built. No, it was purpose built. But this, This is where the divisiveness comes from, though, I know as well, because a lot of people look on that and think that's fake patina.
Yeah. I have to say, I kind of have to eat my words, because I said that it was too much, and it is a little too much. They could have done it more subtle, in my opinion, but I said I hadn't seen modern Seamasters with that patina, and of course the next day I saw a 300 like yours with the same color, and I was just like,
damn it.
Yeah.
The thing you have to look at it like, though, and I know that the broad arrow is divisive as well, but the thing you have to remember is it's a film prop.
right?
First and foremost, and it's if you had to take a modern watch, because they had to for that, they couldn't take an old one and put it on. If you had to take a modern watch and make it look like he had lived with it in the blazing sun for, I don't know, 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's gonna look like that.
You know, the bracelet looks like he just stuck a mesh bracelet on. You know, that kind of thing. It's. I accept as a product, if you were to sell this as a new, with no connection to anything, but it's a story. It has to tell a story because it's for a character.
Right.
I didn't think I would like it that much. I bought it and I was kind of like, I just want to try it.
Yeah, I remember. I was quite surprised when you said you bought it.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
I just thought I'd try it, you know, and I really fell in love with it. And I think actually the delay of the movie helped make it more mine, because there was no context for it. It was just, okay, I know it's in the movie, but for right now, it's just mine. It's a choice I've made.
Could it be because your imagination is kind of doing a lot of the work, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I was also able to sort of imprint some of myself on it. I mean, one thing I often say about the great watch designs, I mean, the Submariner is one of them,
Yeah.
is they leave enough room for you to fill it with yourself.
Right.
So it's same with this, and you always want that one step back. You know, that you want to design something and then take something away, so that whoever's coming to, you know, whoever's going to own it can make it theirs.
Yeah.
And I think this, I know it's crazy to say that about a watch that was designed for James Bond, but I think this does that. I think this, I mean, it clearly tells a story of a certain type of person, don't get me wrong, but it, yeah.
Do you have any issues with the, oh God, another, I just remembered I said this, stolen honor in the...
No, because I don't even, I hardly notice.
I'm referring to the British military markings, by the way.
Just the thing on the stolen honor thing, again, remember it's a film prop, so it's not. Not. You know,
doesn't exist in the real world.
Doesn't exist in the real world.
Even though he became a commander in the.
He's a naval commander, so it's sort of fair,
right?
Like for him, I mean, I don't want to spoil the film. There's no context given. You never really see that.
So it's left to our imagination. Yeah. That they could have been issued Omega, which is completely plausible. They've done it before with the SAS, SBS.
Yeah. So it's, you know, again, it's film prop.
Yeah.
It's not a product that's supposed to be. It's linked very specifically to.
I'm going to make the killer segue right now.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So from kind of make believe issued, right?
Yeah.
To a watch that is a true partnership.
Yep.
That's probably. Amassed the most value in the quickest time compared to any of these.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
And you know, all the naysayers of Squale. So tell me about this serious bit of kit.
The Squale, the Galeazzi. Well, I had the great honor and the privilege of doing the voiceover for the promotional video that they have. I believe it's still on the website. You can go check it out. Limited to 500 pieces. It's a collaboration with Dras Galeazzi, who are a manufacturer of diving equipment, a very, very highly regarded manufacturer of diving equipment, and they supply all over the place, but to the Marine Militare, especially. Number
93. What is the significance?
Well, the significance. So Andrea
Maggi,
CEO of Squale, owner of Squale, explained to me that he said the first 90 were sent to Dras Galeazzi themselves. So this is like number 3, really.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, because they were all given to them. So
that's very
it's
impressive.
a very special number to me. And bless them. They sent me this. It's a treasured piece. I've worn it. I was filming for the last 2 months, and I took it with me, and it was incredible. Never skipped a beat. Incredibly accurate. Equally as accurate as any of, you know.
And it has the helium escape valve, which I haven't seen it in that case. I think it's a first, if I'm not mistaken. So that, right. If you guys know, I'm a Squale nerd, so they make my most favorite watch. So I haven't actually seen this one that much. My God, it's serious.
It's 600 meters water resistant.
Yeah. If you're gonna make a watch for people who makes some of the world's best submarines,
it's got to be pretty.
It's got to be.
And I mean, their diving provenance, heritage, whatever is incredible, and
Yeah.
it's you know, it's not something that they are the sort of.
Can you hear that?
Oh. if you know, Gégé Lecoutre are the watchmaker's watchmaker, I would say they're the diver's watchmaker. You know, and there's
Yes.
just this, if you're a diving enthusiast,
Yes.
you want Squale. Because I mean, is it the Polipetto,
The police watch, yeah.
the police
Yeah,
watch?
yeah,
The only other one they've done it with is a Sea Dweller.
Right. Oh, Rolex is the only one that's
Only
worked with.
Rolex and Squale have done Polipetto watches.
This guy is a Squale expert right now.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Nice.
But yeah, so I mean, they are serious bits of kit.
Serious.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's, you know, and it's very special to me because, you know, I help do the promotional stuff.
Which is your favorite watch? If you had to grab one, there was a fire, like you're running out. Well, obviously, you got your daughter and your wife. And
Of course,
the dog,
yeah, that's it.
But then, like,
If
which
there
watch?
was time for a watch, I think it would have to be the GMT. I mean, this has
Really?
been with me through a lot, and I bought this to remember my grandmother. She left me a few bob, not a lot. It was enough
Right.
to get this back when they weren't.
Yeah.
They were less than they were new if you bought it second hand. You know, 'cause,
Nice.
you know, it's just been everywhere with me. It's probably the one I've worn the most. It to me.
I do see you wearing that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's my, you know, but I mean, the more, the crazier the prices get, the less I sort of wear it because I just get a bit nervous. But it's, yeah, I mean, I think and it just does everything.
Yeah.
It does absolutely everything you need.
Yeah.
You know, dive. I love dive watches. I mean, mainly that's what I have here. But the GMT function is such a handy thing to have because I also work with people all over the world. You know, time zones and stuff, and I can just check it by turning the bezel. It's
Last, very quick question. What's next? What is your next watch?
Good question. Something I ask myself a lot. I think I'd like a chronograph again. I had a Speedmaster Moonwatch. I don't know why I do this, right? So I list things, I put things up for sale, and I forget about it.
You sold that IWC as well, didn't you?
I had an IWC Pilot chronograph. Again, wish I hadn't sold it, but some guy, I leave it there and I go, well, I guess I'd take that for it. And then eventually someone goes, okay. And I go, oh.
Maybe you're a chronograph, you like it from afar, but not
No, I
actually.
do. I love it, and I used them. I used to use them quite.
Oh, yeah?
You know,
Okay.
yeah, for timing thing. You know, obviously. But I miss having a chronograph,
Yeah.
and I am eyeing up at one of the new coaxial speed, the new
Nice.
watch, the newer Moonwatch.
Very, very nice.
So,
Right,
yeah.
well, I'm going to wrap it up there, I think. Beautiful collection. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for bringing this. Guys, let us know what you think down in the comments. What would you suggest for a chronograph? What is your budget?
Well, I mean, because the other thing I do is I look at vintage Rolex like an Egypt. But I think
Daytona.
Daytona, yeah. That would be nice. No, I budget-wise it's flexible.
Suggestions in the comments, and also you can follow Duncan on Valverde Entertainment or Broadcasting. Right, sorry. And where else?
You can find me on social media. I'm at I am Duncan Casey on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. You'll find me if you put my name in. There's me and an Ulster Union rugby player.
Nice.
Duncan Casey. And I'm about.
Cool.
So come check me out.
Cool. And last and finally, come check out this restaurant, Finestra Sul Lago. I'm not endorsed in any way or paid to say that. I'm just genuinely telling you this is a great restaurant and the pizza is excellent. So I'm just trying to help out people over here as well. So yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure. Right, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.